Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Play On. My name is Candice Barrett.
I'm Rob Mackay.
Pregnant pause. This is Pearcey. I'm back. We're really hoping this catches today because I'm seeing a warning up the top that Amazon Warehouse Services has gone on the blink on the fritz. So we're hoping this podcast records.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that Amazon gets back up online because I'm not doing anything today for work otherwise.
That sounds like a prime problem to me.
I see what you did there, Rob. I love it.
Look at you and your puns.
I've got
He's
it covered
back.
from A to Z, mate.
Pearcey, you had a lovely holiday.
I had 2 weeks off work, 2 weeks off the reservation, 2 weeks off podcasting. I had a week of chasing my children around the world with sport, and then I had a week at Port Stephens. And you guys were recording. I think I was swimming with dolphins. It was just wonderful. It was so delightful.
That
Deep
sounds
water
beautiful.
dolphins, humpback whales. There's nothing quite like holding a rope between a double bow catamaran with 200 dolphins in front of you, with them just every so often just casually shitting in the water in front of you, and the kids didn't realize that they would be covered in dolphin shit. It was a great experience, but I cannot speak highly enough of the experience. We actually went out on the Wednesday and we had a lovely full day cruise. Didn't see any dolphins, and the cruise had a dolphin guarantee, so they said come back Friday. So we did.
Dolphin guarantee. That is insane.
Yeah, and look, I
tracking.
I had another little side quest at the end of the holidays. I had to sneak down to Wollongong to scrape my father, Alan, off the road. Crashed his cycle. I know he's an avid listener, so shout out, Al.
Yeah,
Hope you get
soon,
better
mate.
soon.
The Play On Pod sends its regards. I think he's got 11 fractures across 6 ribs, front and back to a few of them. So he's in a world of hurt with a punctured lung, but he will fight
Don't
through.
take any deep breaths.
Yes, no sneezing, no laughing, no deep breaths.
So, yes. What have you guys been up to besides your beautiful holiday? What else, rugby-wise?
Well, I went to the Mudgee Sevens and I refereed there. I feel like that was a stitch-up. I feel like I got asked to go there to coach, and it was very, very hot, and I was refereeing games. There was some amazing football there. My gorgeous daughter debuted rep footy and had a great time. But
yay!
We had a lovely day, a lovely couple of days up there. Some really good refereeing on show. Some of the young refs coming through were just fantastic, and certainly made an old fella feel very comfortable hanging up his boots sometime soon. But I also am today off to a State of the Union workshop with New South Wales Rugby to I believe set an agenda for the next 10 years of New South Wales. So I'm really looking forward to that and looking forward to reporting back on that.
Yeah, that would be an exciting agenda with lots of people, hopefully all in the same room, making decisions and thinking of great ideas. So yeah, look forward to hearing.
Yeah, and
that one.
looking forward to seeing whether I can actually add any contribution to it. But no, I know that I am there for the growth and engagement part of the exercise, with particular reference to the refereeing stocks. Rob just asked me off air, which hat am I wearing? I don't know. Central West, New South Wales country. I don't know. Just an old fella from the bush.
Just Pearcey.
Yeah, just me. Speak my mind.
A voice of sanity in a room.
Oh, what have we come to if I'm the voice of sanity? How about you, Rob? What have you been up to?
Well, there's sort of a brief hiatus on the field, which then means there's an awful lot happening off the field because we come into award season. So we had our presentation night a couple of weekends ago, which was lovely.
So fun.
That was fun, wasn't it, Candice? A good night was had by all. I wisely, showing the wisdom of my age, I went home when we left the venue.
Boo!
In previous years, I have come home with the son, and that's
when you say the son, was that your son or
not the offspring? Although both, but he also left early because he had something on the next day as well. He had a bike ride on the next day, Pearcey. You'll appreciate that.
I love that.
So yep. So he left at a sensible hour. A lot of people kicked on, and I know how that ends. I had something on the next day I had to be home for, so I left sensibly. We wrapped up the venue, tied it all up, packed everything away. And now we're into end of season, so we're getting ready for the annual report, the AGM, data,
it's
stats.
Truly horrifying for me that the last one I went
November.
to, the last one of those New South Wales awards nights that I went to was 2013. I didn't beat the Sun home. I can vividly remember one of those bars down near Darling Harbour. They all feel the same at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And
there's probably people doing a morning run.
well, yeah, there's people doing the
Oh.
morning run. They turn the ugly lights on, and I can remember just looking at Johnny McCarthy, and that was my last season in Sydney, and I looked at Johnny McCarthy, and I can remember bursting into tears and saturating his shoulder. God love Macca.
Tired and emotional, were we,
Tired and
Pearcey?
emotional. We were both tired and emotional, but it was a wonderful, wonderful night, and then moved on.
So yes, that's where I am at the moment. A bit like you, Pearcey, reviewing the year and looking forward to what we do next year. And no doubt, what comes out of today at the meeting you're at will have some impact on that as well. So I know there's been some chat internally about how we do things next
I'm
year.
going to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be raising at this meeting on behalf of our refereeing community that will help with engagement and retention and growth of referees? One or two dot points and go.
Is this ideas to improve?
Yeah.
Or okay.
To engage more referees, to grow our game. And as we all know, if we're going to get 20% more players, we need probably in real numbers, we need 30% more referees because we're 10% short as a starting point.
We have to, as a rugby community, accept that imperfect is okay.
I love that, Rob. Celebrate the imperfections. There's a book called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. I believe it's just turned 20.
Yep, and it's really simple. There's going to be human error in our game. We see it with the players, we see it with the coaches, we see it with the match officials. So let's not get hung up on that because that's what causes retention issues. Focus on your own stuff and support the match officials because you're screwed without them.
Beautiful. Candice?
Mine would be to offer scholarship almost schemes for young athletes so they can have a pathway outside of playing. Because I didn't really know much about refereeing as like a player unless you start asking the questions yourself. And I think a referee should be engaging more with clubs and offering it to them. Yeah, taking
I
up the
love
whistle.
that. And it's really interesting because that was a thing years ago.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous graduate of that program is one A. Gardner. You may have heard of him.
Yeah. He's got a reasonable future ahead of him, I reckon.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I mean, Andrew Lees did a few years on the 7th Circuit Super Rugby. He's one. Ian Smith, a few years on the 7th Circuit, a few years on Super Rugby, a couple of test matches. He's a graduate. Richard Goswell, he did nothing. Absolute failure of the program.
But most of our elite and semi-elite referees have all come through the Triple S program.
Yeah.
Another one would be like trying to get more people to do assistant refereeing, maybe offer offloading to clubs. So if you can get like an approved assistant referee for a certain amount of matches, then maybe there's something they can like offload or give you at the end of the year or something like that. Because that might be a way for people to like start linking up with referees as like starting as an assistant referee, less pressure maybe. And then maybe they can start more building blocks after that.
Yep.
All right.
I love it. That's not on our agenda, but thank you for the suggestions. I will take them to the table.
Yeah.
Rugby news, there's a lot of rugby going on. Tell me what the Voodoo Sevens are.
Oh, that was just my quick rugby news. It was Fiji Day over the weekend, and I refereed at Voodoo Sevens, which was
I reckon
really
every day should be Fiji Day.
Yeah, the music was great. The vibe was good. To mention that, oh yeah,
A bowl of kava, had by
Kava,
all.
bula bula.
And punctuality, not important.
This is again, yep, that was the prime example when I arrived because I was the first referee for my match. As I do, just ran around the pitch, just checking everything. And I realized there's a giant green metal pole in the in goal area, like 2 meters away from the protected posts. And there was 2 on one side and 1 on the other. And I had to tell them, I was like, I'm not starting the game until you either move the lines to make a new in goal so no one's near this pole, or you need to get post protectors. So yeah, there was a bit of a delay.
So they stood a large behemoth in front of it so that he would get run into instead of the pole, and we can play footy.
Yeah. I was just thinking of all the scenarios where like, yeah, green pole, green grass, a lawsuit on working holiday, visa referee. But let's get back to some.
Rob, I believe you have
news.
a spreadsheet of appointments. I'm reading here. This excites me. 23 referees from 11 nations taking charge of 34 tests in the November window. Holy smokes.
Yeah,
there's so many tests coming up. And it's really exciting with some newbie sort of people coming through?
Yeah, so, let's go through it. So we're going to do this in some sort of order. So first of all, we're going to focus on the tests that Australia are involved with.
Yep.
Then we're going to look at our match officials, and then we're going to look at maybe some other notable appointments and just talk about the trends. So the Australian test and almost test. So we just had Morgan White referee the Japan 15 Australia race. So
he's from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
right?
Morgan from Hong Kong, coached by someone that we may or may not know. So well done to him. Always a bit hard in a match that's 71-7.
Who's his coach?
A bloke you might know reasonably well.
There's Dickson.
Indeed, amongst others, apparently. So Stewie's managed to spread his wings across the APAC basin, so well done. And we see Morgan appear later on in the November windows in other matches as well. Japan and Australia, we've got Bock in the middle, Angus Maybe, AR1, Morgan White, there's the name. AR2, Richard Kelly, Timo, and Matt Rodden, foul play review. Then England, Australia. Big game much? Nika's got that one. James Dolman, Craig Evans on the flags, Eric Gauzon, who we met last year, and Matteo Liparini, who is off the World Cup, I seem to recall. Then we flick down to Italy, Australia. Andy Brace in the middle for that. Holly, AR1, Holly Davidson. Sam Grove White, who we had here recently. Ollie Hodges is Timo, and Leo Colgan is foul play review. Then we start to move down to Ireland, Australia. This is also a big game for lots of reasons.
Isn't this I'm trying to remember, is there one in a rogue location in Chicago?
No, not us. That's the All Blacks.
That's the All Blacks, yeah.
I
have a friend going there. That is, when you say rogue location, wow.
Well, not unprecedented. They've been there before.
Yeah,
so...
but what an experience. It's Soldier Field, right? Is it? Yeah, wow.
Is that like a big NFL field?
It's a big baseball, isn't it?
And there might be one or two Irish people in the hood. So, yeah.
Yeah, what a test.
So, Ireland, Australia. So, our current coach's old team, his, mentee is the coach of Ireland. Like, it's got everything. The Lions
coach. Do we call him a mentee? Because we used to call him a protege.
Protege.
Because a mentee is like a thing you put in your mouth to freshen your breath up, isn't it?
Only in New Zealand.
Mentos.
So, Karl Dickson's got that. Pierre Brousset is AR1. Adam Leal. Shout out to Adam. AR2. Ian Tempest and Dan Jones on the screens. And then we move down to France, Australia. It just keeps getting better, doesn't it? At Stade de France, which I love as a venue. It's a great venue. It's a cauldron. The noise there is just amazing. And this will wrap up the tour. This is a statement game. Antoine Dupont may be back for this game from his ACL. So, yeah, it's big. And this could be the game that determines whether we hit the top 6 for the seedings.
Yeah, because it's
all... For the World Cup that are 3 or 4 days later, right? So, massive game potentially. Luke Pearce has got that, which is great. Really rate Luke. Andy Brace, again, is on the flag with Craig Evans. So, people we've seen before. We've got Marius van der Westhuizen, the teamer, and Mike Adamson, who, again, we had here recently, is foul play review. So that's the Aussie tests. Then we go to the Aussie match officials, and there's a bit happening here. So Nick Berry, he's got the Barbars and the All Blacks in London, not Twickenham, but London.
And they are fantastic appointments. As a referee, they are the gold.
That'll be a doozy of a game. That'll be so much fun.
Everyone wants a Barbars game because they are fun and they just make you look good.
And there'll
outrageous advantage.
And weird stuff will happen because it's Barbars, so they'll do. Yeah. They will test your law knowledge on the fly in a cauldron. So I really look forward to that.
And you say that, Rob. I think in practice, if you go out there, I'm probably going to play on.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a very easy mindset as a referee. Like, I'm probably best not blowing my whistle here. That's a very easy mindset to take into it.
It wasn't a negative comment, Pearcey. It was just we're going to see some weird stuff. And...
I can remember Walshy had Barbars when we had it, and he was like, I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to shut up and let him run. And it was fantastic. And then Stewie and I did one. He was in the middle. I was on the side. And wow, what an experience. Just there's a foot near the line. Play on. Just play on.
Well, and the thing is, if it's really bad, the Timo's there, and the poor old Timo assistant, they'll be going, "Oh, is that right? Oh shit, look up. Hang on, play on. Well, we'll sort it out."
Can the cameraman not
Too
show
late.
that, and we'll play on.
So I reckon that'd be a cracker, and I'll be really interested to see who coaches the Barbars, because I know Robbie Deans has done a few of the Barbars games recently, and who they select, because that will give us an idea of where that one's heading. So that could be anything. Then Munster versus Argentina 15. I reckon that'd be fun too. That's in Limerick. It's got all the hallmarks of this, I think, the 76 All Black Munster match. And Gussie's got that one. So I reckon that'll be fun as well. Then we flick to Scotland, New Zealand at Murrayfield. Bears is on that one, Nick Berry. Then, another small game, France, South Africa. Not much riding on that one. This is
Nothing much.
a quarterfinal replay that the French are still filthy about because of the Eben Etzebeth knockdown and the Cheslin Colby conversion charge down, which they still only lost by a point at Stade de France in the quarterfinals a couple of years ago. So loaded up much. Gussie's doing that one.
Yeah.
What a great game.
Smart.
Oh, what a great game.
Got a big game. Let's put a big game ref on there.
Absolutely. And that will just be theatre from go to woe. And I can't wait to watch that. And that will just, that's probably the game of the tournament for me.
Yep.
I have to say.
Can't wait.
Then we go to the Middle East and we've got the Rugby World Cup qualifiers. Yep. So this is the playoff for the final spot in the World Cup. So who do you send? Well, Geordie Way's there. He's doing the first match, and he's the AR1 in the third match. So that's going to keep everyone busy there. And Brett Cronin is TMO on four of those games. So he's going to be busy.
Get your eyes ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's big. There are countries there that are going to miss out on World Cup who would expect to be in the World Cup. There are countries there that are probably outside chances, but they're real shot. So
there's a fair bit at play there.
Oh, absolutely.
And for their programs, if they miss a World Cup or get to a World Cup, that's make or break for those unions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll come back to the teams.
The prize for some of them is getting
minute.
there rather than winning games there.
Yeah, totally. It raises profile and gives you a platform. I mean, look at Portugal in the last World Cup. Yeah, that's been fantastic for their game. Then we go to Wales, Japan. Nick Berry's on the flag there. Scotland, Argentina. Gussie's on the flag for that one. He's got Andy Brace in the middle with him. Is on Wales, Japan's got Matt Carley in the middle. And again, we go back to the qualifiers. Geordie Way again in Dubai, one of the playoff matches there.
Ooh.
And Brett Cronin.
Dubai, that's a fun location.
In the box. Well, they're doing a hothouse, literally and metaphorically, in Dubai. So they've got the teams there for 10 days or so, and they play all their matches.
So good.
And they find out who the final qualifier is. So that will be a doozy. And that is it for the Australian presence. And then we look around at some of the other appointments. And the trend for me is there's a lot of new blood. We're seeing a lot of people
we're seeing that in the UK Prem. And they're just probably just making a nice lead up to the World Cup and getting people that time as well.
Yeah, there's probably people who, to bring a newbie in, you kind of need to shelve an oldie. And it's time. Some of them?
Yeah. Well, and we see it coming through the AR channels first. So AR2, then AR1. So there's, Griffin Colby. So South African Rugby Union, he's AR2ing some of the Dubai matches. So we've also got another Georgian coming through. So Saba Abulashvili is AR1 in Portugal, Canada for Morne Ferreira, another South African referee who we've discussed before. We're seeing George Selwood, who's come out of the Sevens program, now refereeing in the English Prem. He's AR
AKA Dr. Evil.
Yeah, I know. He and I share
hairdressers.
Yeah, we do. We've got lots of tips. We've got a little WhatsApp chat group. There's myself, Andrea Piatti, George Selwood. I mean, a whole bunch of good-looking dudes.
Evil.
Great referees. Yeah. So we've got Kevin Brawley. He's on Romania and Uruguay. Benoit Rossolet, Scotland, Tonga. So we're seeing some new names come through, which...
Yeah. Benoit's obviously an American.
Oui.
Oui.
Benoit.
That's a really interesting bunch of appointments. We've also got Ella and Marco heading off to the Coral Coast Sevens. So Ella we know.
Marco I know because he was over in Mudgee with me.
Yes.
He's a fit young man.
Marco Levy, fabulous fella, came through the Triple S program, class of 2019, went to the dark side for a year and realised how good it was on the light side, so he came back and he's...
Candice, you had a look of confusion there. Went to Rugby League for a year. I love it.
Okay, I'm like, who? Where?
Yes, he got caught in the orbit of the man of feathers. But he
still
is
very
now
confused.
being rewarded. So he's on a pathway, next gen sevens, Toowoomba, women's, etc. So really pleased for him.
Nice.
I'll be interested to see how he goes. So I'm sure he'll be fine, and he'll have Ella with him. So what a good combination.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the rundown of the appointments. Very exciting for all those new referees coming through. And yeah, look forward to November. Get ready for the pod, guys.
We need to talk about awards too before we skip on to anything else too, because it's been award season. I think there's a few notable awards that we need to flag.
I was very pleased to see a Central West coach got Coach of the Year, Johnny Carter's from up at Mudgee. Great club. While we're talking on all things Mudgee, the Mudgee Sevens had their 38th and final year. They're ending the chapter. I refereed at around about 10 of them back in the 90s and early 2000s, including one notable arrest at the tournament for some public urination and nuisance. So it was an epic tournament. Some great referees have been there, and it's quite sad to see that done.
Did you make bail, Pearcey?
I did, and I got back to the pub before anyone noticed I was gone.
Well done.
It was a very interesting one, but congratulations, Johnny. That's a well-deserved award. Mudgee are doing it right. But, yeah, there's some really good awards in there.
So Ella's going to need a bigger pool room.
Yep, straight to the pool room.
Bigger mantelpiece.
So she picked up for the third year running in our association awards the most improved representative rugby referee, which is, I guess when you're refereeing 3-4 playoff in a World Cup, it's a pretty high bar to set. So well done to her. Really pleased for her.
Yeah, well done.
When your only other real representative referee is Gussie, and it's very hard to improve from the top of the tree.
So she did really well there. Then she doubled up and picked up the RA award for referee of the year. So well done.
Yeah, well done and well deserved. It was a clear win.
And then the Rugby Australia Community Referee of the Award was Craig Gardner, who you'd look at that and go, oh, they must be cousins, sisters, brothers. He's in Tasmania, so I don't think they're related at all, but
not at all.
Big shout out to Craig.
Well done.
Managing to pick up that gong from Tassie is no mean feat, given how much focus there is around the centre of gravity further up the eastern seaboard. So that's a big win. So well done, Craig. Congratulations to you. I don't know Craig, but tip of the hat.
And I'm reasonably certain I have met Craig at one of the November window ones. So, yeah, from memory, he's a lovely fella.
And then I want to have a shout out to Jo Staples. Jo Staples picked up a community award. She's been working tirelessly in the Queensland game for years. I've met her a couple of times, talked to her plenty of times. She's an absolute stalwart of the game. Kiwi born, came here a number of years ago, and she's just been holding together a whole bunch of programs in Queensland. She's an absolute West Bulldogs tragic, and that is an award that is so well deserved. So big shout out to her.
Congrats.
And I'd just like to say, I think we need a name for the Wallaroos Award. We've got a John Eales medal for Lenny Katau, but we have the Wallaroos Player of the Year. It's a bit, come on, let's come up with a name.
Can we just, on Jo Staples, I don't know whether you guys noticed it in the press release. I just had to open it up to read it. Jo Staples has been awarded the Nick Farr-Jones Spirit of Rugby Award. She's been a massive part of Queensland rugby system throughout her time being involved in the game, especially in the women's area. Line of the night so far when asked how she juggles all her responsibilities and roles, whether it's team manager, match official or medic. And I quote Jo, I got divorced.
I know, I saw that. And that's Jo to a T, right?
Yeah. So, how do you find the time? I got divorced. Easy. Just shed some unneeded passengers.
And I'll give you an example of how committed she is. During the Brisbane floods a few years ago, she had a brand new car. It was in the basement car park. Basement car park filled up. She was without a car for a long time, and she still did all her rugby commitments using public transport and whatever method she could to get around. She had every excuse under the sun not to do stuff because she couldn't. She did. She found a way. And
as
that
Candice
is an exemplar.
knows, the good ones just make it happen, even if they don't have a car.
Yep.
100%.
Just try to make it work.
So I was really pleased for her.
It's
so
a great award.
Bravo, Joe. Bravo, Len. Bravo, Tabua.
And please send in
everyone
your
else.
suggestions for the Wallaroos award name.
Yeah.
I love that suggestion.
Yeah, answers on a postcard. We can do better.
Maybe moving on to some main segments on some trends that we're seeing in rugby. Have you guys seen about managing the scrum feed that the French have started to do? So no more angled feeds. The 9 must stand nice and square. Throw it straight so that it's a fair contest. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Sort of links to our law of the week. So
I think we revisit this one. It's kind of on a loop every couple of years when there's a team that's got a strong scrum, and the French have a strong scrum. So they think, oh, let's fight fair. Let's have a fair scrum feed. It's not about the feed most of the time. And 99% of the rugby community doesn't care. So it's great to see it go back on the merry-go-round and being a focus again. But in practice, I think this will blow over as it does every so often.
I have a contrary view, Pearcey. I reckon it's a good thing because it's a squeaky wheel that takes a lot of attention. But more to the point, I actually think it changes the dynamic at the scrum and it changes the contest at the scrum. And I don't mind that because bringing the hookers back into play as hookers, I think is a good thing because then you've got a strategic decision to make. Do you, as the non-feeding team, do you hook for the ball? Because you might actually win it now, whereas previously you had no chance. So you never hooked for it. So often you just did the 8-man shove and off you go. Now, maybe we can do something different. So I don't mind it. I'm really interested to see how it plays out. They've sort of gone a little bit off reservation with this because I don't know that they necessarily went through all the protocol channels to get it approved. They've just gone, Matthew
we
Reynal,
are French. We do this now.
And Roman Poit have decided this is what we're going to do, so we're going to clean it up. And they're big enough and ugly enough to do it.
They also have the stats backing it up. Like they're from doing this change, they noticed like 49 more penalties or something given versus like over a span of 3 years.
Yeah, they're whacking it.
Yeah. Because they've noticed because everyone
is that a good metric though? More penalties.
Well, I think it'll be interesting. I reckon it'll go like this.
I think it's a bad for me.
And I think it'll go down.
Metric.
I think it'll come down because people will adjust, and then all of a sudden you'll have a different setup at the scrum. And I think that brings tactical decisions into play.
I love that. I think in practice we want contests for the ball without penalties.
I agree. I think you got to whack early and get your change. So I'll be fascinated.
I'll say sanction because my understanding, if you feed it in wrong, it's a free kick. So yeah. So,
which
anyway.
If you've got a strong scrum, takes away from your scrum. So it's a bit of a paradox in that case. So I don't know that it's purely out of self-interest that the French are doing it. I think it is, but you know what I mean. It's more about maybe a holistic view of the game. So I'll watch with interest. Yeah, exactly right. So
I love this next dot point because I have been noticing that the match official positioning is becoming challenging with a faster ruck speed, flatter passing.
Yeah.
And that fold back I've heard you guys speak about it in my absence, the fold back where you think they're going left, the halfback shapes to go left and then comes back right and you are absolutely caught out.
Yeah.
I really think that positioning it's reverting back to where I used to stand, basically on top of the ruck, adjacent to it, just in front of the A-line. It's about the only safe spot. There's not a lot of pick and drive at the moment. Defense have basically sorted that out. So the safe spot seems to be open side in that tiny little pocket there, but it's not. It's also not safe there with a sniping halfback. So that it's really interesting.
This is the elite level. There are a few places to stand that are safe because if you stand right near the breakdown there, the sniping nine's an issue. But also, if they do a box kick, your big lumbering second rower coming through for the charge down, you're in the way of them. If they do the George Gregan shimmy inside ball to the Owen Finnegan, you're in trouble there as well. But I'm seeing increasingly the referee is standing on the A-line or just a little bit back from it. But because the passing now is so flat because they're so skilled and when we're not sure if it's flat or forward, we're erring on the side of play on.
Yep.
So they're pushing the boundaries right along that flatness, and the ruck speed is so quick. The 9 gets there. I saw this. I was watching some games on the weekend, and they've gone to go, we'll say left, because they've got a pod running left, and the ref's there, so they have to go right. And it's half a second, but it takes time and it changes their decision profile. So I think we need to have a think about how we coach our referees to a better space.
Can I make an observation that is not supposed to be insulting, but it will come across that way? That it appears to me a lot of match official positioning is about getting them in frame at the moment, and I don't like that. The visibility of having a referee in shot, it appears as though they like to be managing and in a nice referee pose in shot. I don't know whether that is on the agenda, but it seems to be from my casual observation. And I don't like that, because the static referee is a referee in the way, and it does change the shape of a game. So I think that you are right. There needs to be some thought about this.
Yeah, and look, I suppose it brings the chariot or the jockey into play a bit more.
A lot wider.
Yeah, or Channel 2, right? And
or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Channel 3 or 4 still works.
Yeah, and in front of the A-line. You've got to be a step in front. Although if you're that wide, it probably doesn't matter as much.
If you're that wide, you can adjust very, very quickly with
Correct.
it. So the ball line running, you can do easier from wide.
You can. But having said that, I don't know if you looked at some of the passing on the weekend. We're seeing 25-metre rockets.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying 3 or 4. Like it's outside the 13.
And they're not Harbour Bridge passes. They're absolute jets.
Some of the halfback skills now, they are fantastic.
One of the guys who plays touch with us, he was in the Brumbies system. He was behind Nick White and Ryan Lonergan until a couple of years ago. And he can pass the ball 30 and it hurts your fingers. It's absolute jet. So you've just got to be really sharp. So, anyway, something to watch.
Yeah, I found that with the sevens, because they're passing so far, or they're always changing direction. I just end up staying in the middle until someone made a decision on which way they're going to go.
And the midfield switch, you just get dizzy. You're trying to watch the ball. You end up digging a hole into the turf as you rotate around because they don't know what they're doing. How the hell are we going to work it out? So, yes, I hear your pain, Candice. It's much harder for me to pivot these days than it used to be, that's for sure. So
about to say, keep everyone's pivoting fast feet. Next, we have here picking up the ball at the ruck versus at a tackle. It's getting loose.
Yeah, it is. It
My
is.
favourite way for it to be.
So picking up the ball at a ruck versus at a tackle.
And so, Pearcey, I was thinking of you when I put this down because
like an offload.
You like to play on, and
I love a game that is fast and loose.
Yeah, and that's what we've got here. And I'm just wondering if we've sort of sent the meter a little bit too far because we're now seeing, and it's either a ruck or a tackle, but it makes a huge difference because with the ruck, you've got to be right behind. With the tackle, you've only got to have 1 foot behind. But now we're seeing guys sort of halfway up, maybe a tackle, just grabbing the ball almost next to the opposition 9. All of a sudden, everyone's going, how the hell did he get there? And it's like, Jouet, play on.
Jouet. Is there such a thing as too fast and too loose? Well, in rugby, maybe. In other facets of life, probably not.
Well, I think if you're the defensive coach and they score against you like that, you're going to be pretty dirty because everyone's going to be going, well, they can't pick the ball up from there because they're in an offside position. So it's just a question of, where do we tweak the dials on that between the balance of the game, as you say, Pearcey, and actually, well, that's illegal. We shouldn't actually be sanctioning it. We should actually call it back because we have had some people call it back. So I've had a couple of tries scored and they go, actually, no, he's picked it up from an offside position. So we whack it there. But in the middle 40 when there's a line break, we don't. So there's a bit of a consistency issue. So
agreed.
Again, watch this space.
What a great golden whistle. 100 Premiership club matches to Karl Dickson. That is actually very impressive. That's a great feat. We saw him out here for the final test, the final Bledisloe.
There was the Bledisloe one.
Yeah, and he's got a unique way about him, Karl, that I really like. And we saw a lot of penalties in that game, but it was probably what the game needed. And he's got a unique way about him, and I like it. I think he's got a real character about him. So congratulations, Karl. Great golden whistle, guys.
Ooh, it's part of this special club or group of people which are past the 100. Wonder what he gets.
As golden whistle. The Play On Pod.
well, that's all you need.
I saw it on Insta as well that Bocky had a post on Insta opening up about his refereeing. So I would encourage our listeners to have a look at that.
Yeah, I'll share
I
that
really enjoyed
through
that.
our stories through Instagram. I think it's great for seeing any type of reflection being like I said, we're not perfect. So it's being able to like open up about like their learnings from it and reflection. Yeah, I'll give that a share for those that are interested.
And I love that we're humanising these elite referees. It's important that people recognise they're people.
Yeah.
And in Ben's case, they're very impressive people. It's exceedingly impressive gentlemen.
Well, I mean, you look at the body of work of all the elite match officials; they're all impressive people, and that's what's fascinating about them. You know,
that's what we want. We want good people doing this.
Yeah, we do.
Talk us through the law of the week, Candice.
The law of the week is linked to, we mentioned before about France and their Scrum feet. This is under 19.15F, which is Scrum. So the Scrum half may align their shoulder on the middle line of the Scrum, thereby standing a shoulder width closer to their side of the Scrum. And the sanction for that is a free kick.
Does that mean we're rewarding halfbacks with broad shoulders? If you've got a really broad set of shoulders, are we going to see the advent of side shoulder pads to extend that shoulder width so you can get your shoulders further over?
That's
like
highly
that.
likely.
Bring back the 80s.
Yeah, it's all
Bring
about
back
being
faff.
De Klerk. They have a diagram as well that's like put in my head as we can share that. It's like it's making sure it's nice and straight and that you're square. They have like
I
all
remember
the
we
different
used
angles.
to work with, the football is roughly 30 centimetres long. We used to say that some part of the football had to be under the intersection of the shoulders of the props. So that allowed you basically 15 centimetres of leeway. I think, we're trying to formalise something that's a little bit fluid and challenging. But look, we've spoken about it. I'm interested in what the outcomes of this one is, and I like a focus there every so often.
Well, and this is where the French have gone off reservation because moving back to the centre line is actually against the laws of the game, right? So,
Are we going to see a ball with a centre line drawn on the ball so that they can get the Hawkeye on it? I love
with
it.
With an arrow at each end?
Yeah.
this side up?
Yeah, this side up. Left hand here, right hand here. I love that.
Why don't they just, when we create the mark for the Scrum, we just put the ball on the ground?
Why don't
the
referee
center?
put it in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just leave the ball in the center.
Like in water polo,
on the
it
ground.
pops up from the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Or just do scissors, paper, rock at the Scrum.
Guys, great to be back. Thank you for letting me have 2 weeks leave. Candice,
You're
welcome.
Welcome.
Fantastic. You're looking fit and strong. Is that the high rocks workouts?
Yeah, high rocks and maybe my halter top. That's showing off more of my traps.
I love that. Rob, we were pretty shit today, but look, at least I'm here. Like I did listen to the podcast while I was in here. Being here is better than being shit, and here is better than being not here. Is that what you said?
Something like that.
Yeah. We can still work on that game.
Welcome back, Pearcey. The list of work-ons continues to grow.
Is long and arduous. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. And find us on YouTube as well as Instagram. So we're growing the pod. So give us a follow and subscribe. See you later.
Show it.